everyone, it's Maria from Jadot Le Papier. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for the support. This custom journal is for a friend and current client, and she loves to collect vintage and antique Vogue. Oh, and this little dress here, can you guess? Audrey Hepburn's character in Breakfast at Tiffany's, that's her little Sing Sing dress. Anyway, since the client loves photographs, she collects Vogue, a lot of these pages actually come from her. And then the specific ephemera related to all the fashion, a lot of it comes from Sarah at Crafty Paper Bits. These covers here actually come from my brother. He and his girlfriend went to Paris recently and they brought me back a few of these Vogue covers that are actually in English. Anyway, this little booklet here, I followed Heather's tutorial for a mini booklet and I put most of my art in here. So I love this little dress and that picture of Chanel and all the sketches on her wall. But this little vase is actually also acrylic painting, but I gave her her own little pearls. The die-cut flowers are from Sarah at Crafty Paper Bits. And then a lot of the trims and the lace are French from Ina at Exquisite Journals. And these little booklets you've probably seen on my Instagram are the trading cards. I followed a tutorial by Sharon at the Journalocity shop. I'll be sure to link the video below. So first off, it goes over the history. Before Chanel's little black dress in the 1920s, dresses were long. Women still had to wear either petticoats or the early 20th century, 1900s, the silhouette started to slim down thanks to Chanel. And what she did was she took what she had and she made something new. Shorter dresses, still below the knee, but a little more freeing for each woman. As early as 1920, that's actually a cover of Vogue. Someone was already showing a dress that was backless and was a little more freeing for each woman. So even before Chanel's little black dress, black was already becoming the new it color. I love this little charm here. It just shows off a few flowers. And then how many paper dolls are too many paper dolls for this journal? Not too many at all. In fact, I wanted the owner to be able to move around some of the paper dolls for some of the more simple pages. Here, I didn't want the book to get too bulky, so the dresses that I typically sculpt out of fabric are a little thinner, but they show off the 1920s flair, something that Mary Crawley would probably be wearing in Downton Abbey. But the lengths are still a little bit longer, but they're a little more freeing, no more corsets. And then, of course, headdresses were pretty extravagant. And there were a lot of use of flowers already, even before Chanel's Camellia became the thing. So I've trimmed up a lot of fabrics here. Oh, I love this little paper doll from the owner's collection, Paulette. She's throwing away her old clothes because she wants something sleek and sexy and really just black is it. And she's definitely changing out her wardrobe. Here's another one of my playing cards. Just wanted to show you a few of the options that I changed up when following Sharon's tutorial and the playing cards that I had made for the different designs through the 1920s. Anyway, I'm going to play some music throughout the video and I'll come back on and just give you a little history as needed. That's actually an image of Chanel from her own book, one of her books. And I love that the seamstresses and other designers are with her, and she's holding that book with a lot of swatches, fabric swatches on it. This lace dress here is actually inspired by one of the fashions in the playing cards there. That one, I forget the name, Petit, I think, or Premit in 1926. And on the right is the one with the gown that is gathered with a jewel brooch. So that earring actually comes from Sarah. So thanks, Sarah, from Crafty Paper Bits. That was so cute. Dress that I just showed there is actually a Chanel dress, and this is a ballet dress. And then this happens to be a Chanel dress also from the 1920s, 1926, I think. And that's actually a line of stationery that I have on Zazzle. And so I'm showing this box here with some of those products from Zazzle, postcards, etc. that I wanted her to have just because she loves stationery, if not more than me, probably more than me. And I'll be filling that up a little bit more. And then on the back, those are the envelopes that didn't fit the box, sadly, so I just wrapped them with one of my Coromandel printables. Again, so hopefully the client or the new owner will be able to just editorialize and move around a lot of these images or add a lot more, because I'm sure she has a very extensive collection. So here's a little black dress that came out in 1926, the Ford dress, just because of the very edgy darting and shape. But these are paper dolls from the client's own collection, and I made a Coromandel wardrobe. Growing up, we had Coromandel screens, and I have a new digital, and I always wanted a wardrobe just like the carved Coromandel, and so that's what I did there. And so on the inside, those ladies in waiting are actually helping to dress the ladies in their new Chanel dresses. And there's that iconic image from the magazine, the Vogue 1926 magazine, and then a little glassine bag with a little more ephemera. The dress on the right that I'm pointing about is actually also Chanel from the 1920s, and it just shows off a lot of her very sleek but not too tight-fitting silhouettes, and more affordable. That's the thing about the Ford dress. These ladies are celebrating because now they too in 1936 can afford black dresses for any event, not just the opera, but for fine dinners, cocktail hours, and parties. Oh, this collage here is another chapter divider made by Sarah, Crafty Paper Bits, and I love how she collages. She's used the Chanel perfume, since I've made a perfume journal in the past, but it's all Chanel related, and so I had to give that a place of honor there with a little clip with a pen holder clip there. But thank you, Sarah, for making these awesome collages. And then this pocket here just has a little more information. These are quotes, all in French from Chanel, and I will go ahead and provide a translation for the owner. That's actually a funny quote there. Sometimes you think pink, but you wear black. That's me every day. To the 1930s now, and it's all about simplicity, 1930s to the 1940s. This authentic vintage Chanel bag is from Catherine French Billet, and I filled it with authentic French ledgers, but this right here is actually a notepad that my mom got as quote-unquote junk mail, and I covered it with my own digitals, and then on the back I put the repositionable glue so that you could hide your journaling and then move it about as you want, since it acts like a post-it, but it's a little thicker. Since the owner loves to collect photographs, I had a few made, and this is of Dorothy Nee Downing Gunderson. She was a Viscountess, and this is from June 1934. Those prices there correspond with the dresses on the following page. And then that's just a vintage photo from the public library. But I just love these old magazine articles and the different dresses. So I love including authentic ephemera in some book pages. Again, this is meant to be like an editor's Vogue, celebrating 100 years of the little black dress. So I thought she could move around some of these articles from the different eras. And this is just a classic French photograph that I have printed front and back because I didn't like how it printed out. More paper dolls, and this is actually a Chanel fur. But the paper dolls, again, I just want her to be able to play with the different fashions and move them around. This is the page from the 1926 Vogue, where they featured the dress, and then a modern Chanel ad. But I love this dress. It's also Chanel, and this lady's posing in front of one of her Coromandel screens in her apartment in Paris. And that's the little card actually inspired the rest of the Coromandel screen designs that I'll be using in my kit. These are more digitals. I love the long envelopes that Leslie of 507 Willow House Journals uses and puts in her skinny journals. This article comes from the Harper's Bazaar in the 1926, going over the different black dress silhouettes. So, and these stickers comes from the customer's own personal collection, so I wanted to make sure to give her all the black and whites to be able to play with and move around. Love that dramatic black wallpaper Sarah shared with me. If I could have an accent wall of that in a very white bathroom somewhere, that would be an incredible, beautiful, bold bathroom. More glassine bags. I'm addicted. It's official. Heather has that tutorial. I'll probably link it below as well. But I love just putting stickers, ephemera, and hiding journaling in those little sacks. Oh, and this actually comes from Sarah. Sarah made me this floating pocket of a pattern, and I added it and made it into a ephemera folder just because, again, the client has so many of her own personal stickers that she shared with me, and then I added some of my own digital designs and made them into stickers too, just so she had them to move around. And then the square papers in back are actually wish papers. There's a company in the US that makes them. That's the little paper board that you put it on. It's my digital. And then you roll it in a quarter size and stand it up, and you light one end of it, and the fire will actually burn it down, and that paper will start to float in the air. So I included 2 wishes, one for my friend and one for her mom, and then some other ephemera in those pockets. And then again, another image from my Coromandel screen. Oh, this is the other half of the French pattern, the French dress that the client already has, because she has the Chanel and Biarritz journal. And so this is the other half of the little black dress. I thought it was fitting. Maybe she could make herself an actual black dress. So the instructions are in French there, but easy enough to translate. This model here is also in front of Chanel's Coromandel screens, and that's a Chanel dress. Those are gorgeous from her apartment. And then on the right, of course, is Grace Kelly. How can you have a little black dress 100-year anniversary magazine and not have her image? This is where I got the idea for the 100 year and just making it the book. Sarah provided some photos from a 100-year Vogue magazine issue. And so I thought, oh, that's perfect for the client because she loves to collect magazines and books. So I just had to run with that idea. There's another Chanel dress that was actually in the late 1950s. So she went with a few more ruffles than her typical standard straight silhouette, but it's gorgeous. This is a 1956 Chanel dress with fur sleeves, and then of course Audrey Hepburn. This is actually a 1956 or 59 Dior dress. This is the client's other favorite designer. And you'll notice that the silhouettes are a little more balloony and they're not as form-fitting or sleek as Chanel likes. And Dior was actually one of the many reasons Chanel came back out of retirement at the age of 70. She wanted to get back to designing. And there's that dress, the Holly Golightly dress that she wears to Sing Sing with that dramatic hat. That's my all-time favorite little black dress. So I actually purchased that photo of her on the right in the big hat from eBay. I think I need to buy myself a copy because that's probably my all-time favorite. And then of course Jacqueline Kennedy. She was always in a black dress, and apparently so was Barbie in 1964. That black sack there is actually a French hosiery bag from Sarah, and then some notes from the 1950s that actually complement another Dior dress. See how big and balloony he was making his black dresses? And Chanel came back, no. We will make them sleek and a little more form-fitting and just classic. Anyway, I'm not going to say more about that dress, but it is Christian Dior versus Chanel. Anywhere there are older magazine pages, it's the client's personal collection, so I wanted to make sure and include those, but also to give her room. I'll be giving her some of my digital background so that if there are sides of the magazines she doesn't like, she can just cover them with the background pages and or photographs. I love that halter dress, 1970. And then Paloma Picasso on the dance floor in New York City, classic black dress. I love that photograph of her in her studio at 31 Rue Cambon. And then of course, Elizabeth Taylor in her black dresses. And then who can forget that iconic dress that Princess Diana wore? A lot of people call it the revenge dress, but it definitely deserves a place in this book. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you coming back and all your support. And one more thing, I did make a little booklet for her mom, I'll add a few more of my sketches and or dresses, but I thought it would be cute for her to write down some of her stories about her little black dress, maybe from her past.